Yes, you are listening to the Ready, Set, Retire radio podcast with Steve Anzoni. My name is Jessica Forkel. Get more details on the website at fairwayfinancial.net.
The past couple of weeks, we've been talking about refinancing your retirement. You know, when interest rates are low, you refinance your home. When interest rates are high, you refinance your retirement. Give me more on that.
It's unreal. So obviously people know, inflation, generally speaking, is not good, except if you have no debt and you're retired. You can take advantage of inflation. People have seen their bank accounts start to earn this thing called interest, which they haven't seen in years. And now they're getting a little wiser. And the good thing, Jess, is that actually people are starting to pay more attention now.
Sure.
And they're finally starting to ask questions, which is good. It's always a good thing to have people get involved with their money, because usually people are very passive about it. Now I find that people are not over the top, but they're on it and they get it. And annuities have been around for hundreds of years. And right now, everybody wants one. It's hilarious, right? It's the shiny object. You got these investment houses talking about it now because it's the subject. And people who've never really gotten involved with it in the past, like I have for over 35 years, I've known the benefits and I've known the good companies and the ones to kind of shy away from. And right now, the refinancing opportunities, and let me just clarify what I mean by that. So if you've had let's say you've owned an annuity for a few years, and some of my clients out there can attest to this and understand this, because I've been in business for a while and I have some clients who have bought in a low interest rate environment, but at the time it is what it is, right, Jess? And they were looking for other things other than the return. They were looking for safety and stuff like that. But now, with rates being so high, so insurance companies buy bonds, and they buy them in hundreds of millions of dollars of increments. They're not us, all right? Mm-hmm. When they buy these things, they make huge purchases on these things. And they have this massive reservoir of money that they're earning a very, very good rate on for the next 10 to 20 years. So when they buy these things, they lock in for a long time. So now what they're willing to do, some companies, is they're willing to buy business. They're willing to take a short-term loss on their money because they know in the long run they can recoup it. And that's wise business for them. And it's an unbelievable opportunity for consumers who may have a fixed rate account at 2% or less, or an S&P 500 cap. And again, it requires a little explanation, but I don't want to get into detail too much. But a lot of these index products have these things called indexes that they use a stock market indicator, like an S&P 500, and they give you up to X right on the return. Like a few years back, it was 4.5, 5 maybe if you were lucky.
Okay.
So today's products are giving up to 12 that I've seen on the S&P cap. It's enormous opportunity to earn a large amount on the S&P without risking anything. It's not a security, so the money is safe. And so when you rescue money, these companies are willing to pay a premium bonus up front. Now, don't mistake that for a income rider. There's a big difference. A bonus is a true premium bonus added to the contract. And I use the word contract because it is a contract. They promise certain things and it's in writing. It's not like the market where you have no idea what your money's going to be worth the next day.
Right.
So very, very different. I've had clients who just bought from me a few years ago refinance and get 4% fixed rate and 7 on the cap. And I know that just sounds low from what I said, but those people got paid 18% to move their money. 18.
Wow.
Up front.
That's a
in
big
writing.
Deal. Big deal.
That's right. So it was a huge deal for these people, and they were able to make out and move forward. So if you are in the annuity market already, and let me just give you a quick example of how crazy this world is.
Perfect.
2 years ago, I met a gentleman, great guy, and we did some business together. He had an existing variable annuity. A variable annuity is more of a security. So there is risk up and down on it. But this had a certain rider attached to it that guaranteed a income for what we found out this week. He thought it was for lifetime. I called the company direct with him. It was only guaranteed, I say only, for 20 years. Okay? So the payout rate was 5, guaranteed for 20 years. That's it. I couldn't touch it 2 years ago. I just couldn't move it. It just wasn't in his best interest to even talk about it. But today, we're able to move this contract and get him, okay, you ready for this, about $6 or $7 grand more a year of income today in writing, guaranteed. And the longer he defers it, the higher the check gets and the more spread there is between his old contract and the new one. And this new contract guarantees the check for life, not for 20 years. He's young, all right? He's still working. So what an opportunity for him. You know what's great about that, Jess, is he heard us talking about it on this show.
Oh, yeah?
And he called me. And I was like, yeah, we have that because we have a lot of clients here at Fairway. We've been in business for a while, and it's hard to remember everybody I've talked to who had older annuities, right? I mean, I'd like to have that memory, but fortunately, I don't. And so he called me, was very proactive, and we put a lot of money in this gentleman's pocket for income, for cash flow, for life. So he was just ecstatic that he made the call. Now, some of you people are thinking, well, that's great, Steve, but I don't have annuities. So what's the big deal today for me?
Exactly.
I'm going to tell you the big deal today. Not only are the fixed rates up at 5, but like I said earlier, the S&P 500 cap. So think about this. You can get 12% return. And again, this is as of this radio show. So after this date, it's not promised. But I'm just saying right now, in this environment, you can get 12. But if the market goes haywire and goes negative 20 or 30 again, you don't lose one nickel. Nothing. And there's no fees on this particular product. It's unbelievable, the opportunity. Now, there are a lot of companies out there throwing enormous bonuses at people right now. And I'm not going to mention their name, but they're a monster. And I've done business with them since the 90s. Okay. And they're known for their huge over-the-top bonuses. So I'm talking 47% up on the money. But there's a huge catch to that one, okay? So be cautious, all right? Because you're going to get, you guys out there listening are going to get inundated with mailers and all kinds of stuff about this. So I'm just saying, as a wily veteran in this industry, be careful before you step, because these big bonuses are okay for certain situations, but you got to read it all through and have a professional, an independent professional look at it before you make a purchase. What I would suggest is, if you've seen something like this or heard about this, call me, okay? 508-552-3230. Okay, that's 508-552-3230, or you could jump on the website at fairwayfinancial.net and give us an indication that you want to talk. Get the information, digest it with a professional and independent, then make a move. Don't jump. Think, then jump if it makes sense for you. That's all I'm saying, because I'm going to notify my clients too about this, but I'm going to tell them to be extremely cautious, because there's always a catch, right, out there? We're all skeptics in New England, as am I. I am. I'm a huge skeptic.
True.
But that's not a bad thing. I mean, I'm always on the defensive trying to figure out, why is this deal here? Why is it so good? I know why the refinancing is so good, because the insurance companies are making good money on their bonds finally, and they can afford to do it. I get that part. But just be cautious. Okay, there are amazing opportunities. I just explained one from an existing client, and it's unreal. All right, you need to look at this, because if you're there in retirement or you're within a few years, if you don't jump on this atmosphere right now, you're going to be missing the boat.
That's right.
And I'm telling you that I know how these companies work, and when their coffers are filled with their $500 million or $1 billion limit, and believe me, that's not a lot of money for these companies. It's going to go quick. I'm telling you that within the next 4 or 5 weeks, bye-bye, these deals are off the table, especially the refinancing deals.
That's right.
I'm just telling you right now from experience, take advantage. Get the information. You need to do this for yourselves because you're going to be kicking yourself if you don't do it. It's really that simple. And I can't reach through the microphone and say, hey, let's talk. You got to make the first step. So I'm doing my best here from the studio, but really, seriously, people, this is an unbelievable opportunity.
To continue this conversation about annuities, I know we've talked before about all the benefits of annuities, especially, of course, the guaranteed income that they offer in the form of a monthly check. But how much should you put into an annuity? Well, here's annuity advocate Cheryl Moore of winkintel.com.
I don't think that anyone should put 100% of their assets into an annuity because these are considered long-term savings instruments. You definitely need to have a rainy day fund or money market account or some kind of savings account where you can access your money in the event of an emergency. The answer is it really depends on the person that you're dealing with, on how much they should put into the annuity. But I think it's universally true that no one should put 100% of their money into the annuity.
Well, I think we could agree with that. We've talked about don't put, all your eggs in one basket, Steve. So when clients express interest in an annuity, how do you figure out how much to put where?
Obviously, I'm not a big advocate of putting all your money in any basket. I don't care how good it looks. And I wrote about that in my book, Tee Up Your Retirement. That's exactly what I preach to people, is to have different buckets for different reasons. And the annuity bucket is a very strong bucket. Like, say you have an IRA and most of it's in the market. And if you're working, most of it probably is in the market because the 401ks are the best way to go for retirement. And everybody by default just payroll deducts and sticks it in there, which is good. But if you want a safer alternative and the opportunity to earn some good upside without any downside risk or fees, then that's also an opportunity to own a different type of annuity that doesn't have a lifetime income rider, but it's more of an accumulation vehicle. That's why that you need to speak with an independent professional who has been around the block, who understands these products. Because I'm telling you right now, if you try to do this on your own, you're going to go down a rabbit hole that is going to just drive you crazy. I'm telling you right now, there are so many different versions, and some of these companies spin them out there the way they do. And the old adage, sometimes it looks too good to be true. All that stuff is a reason why you need to talk to someone like myself, who's an independent professional who does this for a living. It's not something that I do on the side, like everyone you're hearing now all of a sudden is trying to become an annuity expert. And they're not. They're just simply trying to jump on the bandwagon. And the last thing you want is somebody out there jumping on the bandwagon, getting you in the wrong type of vehicle, and then bailing out on you, because that's what these guys are going to do. So you want someone who's been in the business, who knows their stuff. I mean, we've done, 50, 60 refis just in the last 2 weeks.
That's huge.
Now, those are the people who are eligible. Obviously, I have a lot more customers than that, but there are certain rules for the refi. Rule number one is it's got to be in the benefit of you first. It has to benefit the consumer first, period. And number two, the older contracts, if you have them, have to be at least 2 years old. And that's not my rule. That's the insurance company's rules. Mm-hmm. So there are some rules. So not everybody qualifies. But the ones who do qualify, man, if you don't do this, you're going to be sitting there going, how come my returns are so low? How come my returns are so low? I'm going to tell you why.
Because you didn't take advantage.
You didn't catch up.
Exactly. It goes back to what I said earlier. When interest rates are low, you refi your home. When interest rates are high, guys, now let's refi our retirement.
Right. And, for those income annuities, my God, if you're looking for a guaranteed source of income to supplement your Social Security, if you're one of those folks out there who don't have a pension and you need some more peace of mind for a bigger check other than Social Security, you absolutely need to stare this down, because these payout rates are up over 8%. Think about what I just said. For life, over 8%. This is not a short-term deal here. This could change your financial future.
Yeah.
Period.
They do.
End of discussion. So that's how unbelievable it is. And yes, I'm talking and I'm focusing my whole show on this because it's that important. It is. And if you haven't called before, or even if you did, call again. There's stuff going on here. I don't have enough time on the radio show to discuss, but I'll be happy to have you come in or even talk to you on the phone at 508-552-3230. Do it for yourself. Do it for your spouse. Do it for your family. This is the time. It's just like the mortgage refi market 3 years ago. Remember those 2.5% returns? 2.5% rate on a mortgage?
Sure.
Who wouldn't refi their mortgage? For crying out loud, you're saving $500, $1,000 a month, depending on the size of your mortgage. That's insane.
Right.
So you have to do it. Take advantage of it, folks. I just can't. I don't know, Jess, am I getting the message out there
I think
or what?
you are. I think you are. I know it sounds like you're beating a dead horse, but honest to God, guys, this is what we're talking
It's
about.
not.
You are essentially leaving money on the table, behind the table, all over the table if you don't take advantage of this opportunity. And we can't say it enough. I mean, if you have an annuity, great, there's options for you. If you don't have an annuity, guess what? There's still options for you. This is not a one shoe fits all. This is a opportunity for everybody across the board.
It's crazy. I had some guy call me from the show a few weeks ago who wasn't a client. And he said, hey, Steve, I heard your show. I have this annuity. It's with this big company who I know who it is. Again, I'm not going to mention companies.
Sure.
And I said, wow, yeah, they're usually very, very strong. And usually I say to people, you should keep it. But I looked at it. I analyzed it. He was kind enough to send me the statement. And I ran the numbers. I mean, listen, it's that simple. Numbers don't lie. You run the numbers. And I ran them for him, and I said, hey, I can improve your cash flow by 15 to 20%. And he said, what? And by the way, this guy even had to pay a fee to leave his old company, and the new company still blew it away with less money invested. So it's all about the check. It's not just the pile there. It's how much that pile can produce for income. That's what it's about. And if you're getting a higher rate today than you were in the past, you don't need as much to produce more. And he found that out to his delight. And we went ahead and helped him too. So there's just a few specifics, but there's so many more. I could tell you a million stories, but I would love to write your story. That's what you want, is you want to hear your story out there as to how you improved your financial future. So again, it's 508-552-3230, 508-552-3230. That's the way to go. And give us a call and just don't miss it. Even if you get the information and you say, whatever, I like my low interest rates, I'm going to stay where I am. Fine. At least you know what's going on out there.
Get more details on the website, fairwayfinancial.net. That's fairwayfinancial.net.
Steve Anzoni is a licensed insurance provider by the Division of Insurance and is not registered as an investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Steve Anzoni, Massachusetts Insurance License 3851053. Annuity guarantees rely on the financial strength and claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company. Read your contract for restrictions, limitations, or penalties. Steve Anzoni is not licensed in all 50 states. To find out if Steve Anzoni is licensed in your state, please call 508-398-3337.